It's showtime.
Okay guys, welcome back. I'm Kix, joining me is Rapid, and we're about to head into the third game between NetWars and bwL.
Yeah, game 3, even if this is a 3-0 for NetWars, we will still play the fourth game. And honestly, it's cool to get a chance to watch all of these players play, specifically game 4. It's going to be kind of near and dear to my heart. But game 3, it's still not a done deal yet. There's still the opportunity for bwL to come back.
Yeah, there is. Of course, it is a best of 5, so you do need to make it with a 3, or you have to make it to 3 games, so we could still see an ace match. I mean, realistically, looking at the statistics of both teams, you wouldn't think that would happen, but we saw it with bwL, and bwL could certainly pull it back here against NetWars. NetWars running through their roster a little bit into game 3, but still, NetWars have so many strong players. Let's actually head on and introduce the two that we're going to be seeing here in just a second. And when I say just a second, I mean now, because here we go, fighting for bwL, the man who is going to look to bring it back. They still have a chance. They're currently 0-2 down. Can he bring it back to 2-1? It's Castle. Now Castle did have a brief stint on Ash last round. He also had a brief stint on his own team, IM, last round as well. They dropped out before the tournament started and messed with the brackets a little bit, but water under the bridge as he's back again under a different team name. It's bwL, and his opponent gonna be Kingpin. Now Kingpin has done a pretty good job, not Norman Fisk, gonna be a different Kingpin. Unsure if this man is a bag of muscle, but he's Polish, so I mean it's possible he is.
Yeah, Kingpin, by far the best Spider-Man character in the 1990s animated character, animated series. Very excited. But also one of the strongest players on bwL. So I never know who's on the roster because they also change names each round. So I'm going to assume that it's the same. But yeah, still very strong. And Kingpin, I actually do not recall seeing this guy play very often. I think maybe once before. So my memory is not what it used to be.
Yep, so they're going to be moving on to Colosseum 2. Now, Colosseum 2, a desert tileset map, my favorite tileset from, I believe, the STX Masters 2009. May have spawned in Pro League first, but the first VOD available on Team Liquid was from that. But either way, 4-player map, very easy to take natural, very easy to take third base. Of course, it's a PvZ. We've seen one of those so far in round 3. It did go to the Zerg player, so the odds stacked up against Castle. But if there's one man that can bring it back here for bwL, it's going to be him. So let's head on over to our game, and let's get started. It's Castle versus Kingpin, NetWars versus bwL. It's game 3. It's now.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into game number 3, starting. I don't know which side you started on, Kix, but I'm going to assume it's in the bottom left. In the blue, this is Kingpin, of course, playing Zerg for NetWars.
And his opponent down here in the bottom right, going to be fighting as Protoss for bwL. It's Castle.
Interestingly enough, Kingpin, his name is Wilson Fisk. You know what his middle name is?
No idea.
Grant. So very fitting that he is a Brood War player. Big fan of Grant in general. Also, did you know Kingpin? He was also known as the Brainwasher in the first episode of The Amazing Spider-Man that he came out in.
I had no idea. I do know he has appeared in Daredevil as well. I don't know if this is going to be the same reason behind the name, but it's possible it is. Kingpin obviously not the most common of words, so I mean, we could see a Spider-Man Daredevil fan here. Castle, of course, named after the architecture, populated in the Middle Ages. Very, very important piece of human history.
Wow, I was learning so much today, Kix.
Yeah, we're learning all of the important info, but PvZ here, obviously, at the beginning, there's not really too much to say. We do see Castle going for the natural whoa, he's going for the wall at the choke. But we did see in the show matches that you can actually sunken rush on this map, so are we going to see that here from Kingpin, who's actually going for a spawning pool first?
Yeah, get me out of here. No more sunken rushes in my games, Kix. That was quite the game to witness. You guys can go back and watch that. Just Google sunken rush STPL, and you won't find it that way, but you can still Google it.
Yeah, you can Google it. Maybe you'll find the STPL channel on YouTube, which is Kix SC. I'm nearly at 100 subscribers when I can change the channel name to STPL TV to match the Twitter. But a little bit far off of that at the moment. Need 11 more subs. But either way, all is good. We've got the natural expansion coming in for Kingpin, so it's not going to be well, it may still be a crazy thing all in, but not going to be as quick as what we could have seen.
Yeah, the game will continue. The game will go on along with my heart, so we'll get a chance to see what happens here. You know, I would consider maybe these two players the most evenly matched out of you know, the lineup that we have coming through today, but it's only going to be the first you know, 6 lings, and it's not like they're just rallied across the map, right? They're still chasing the probe around, so there's not going to be any like super ultra mega giga crazy aggression, but he does still have drones and gas.
Yeah, he does. He just put them back in as well, so not opting to go for a super quick 3rd hatchery, 4th hatchery, or anything like that. He's going to go back into his gas, wants to get his lair likely pretty quickly, and as I say that, he plops that down. Will need to get ling speed as well, which it always feels like it's just finished, but I don't think it has. I always have so much trouble telling that with lings.
No, these are not fastlings. Fastlings, kind of like vulture speed, like they just kind of got their zoomies on.
It's weird though, I think with the vulture animation it makes it a lot easier to see when they've got speed. But
yes.
Yeah, kind of crazy. We've got that wall coming up at the front, Cybernex core coming up behind this. Natural Nexus is done. Kingpin, of course, well aware of everything that's going on with his Overlord in the base.
Yeah, and so I'm guessing this is going to be some variety of like maybe 2-hatch Muta. You should have added on the 3rd hatchery at this point, right? Oh yeah, okay, there it is. He's also building the creep colony on the neutral creep to block off the entrance. Well, not block it, but like just make it easier to block with Zerglings there.
Yeah, you can also add obviously Sunkens behind this. This does extend the creep out as soon as you build the creep colony, so that's going to allow him to maybe hide a building there, possibly. I mean, he's got very few drones at the moment, and there it is, the Spire off of 2 hatchery. This is an incredibly low economy version of this 2-hatch muta play, and you can see him immediately going for that 2nd gas. He wants those mutas.
Yeah, this is like the super down and dirty. I hesitate to ever call a build all in because, you know, you can always macro out of just about any, you know, situation if you deal enough damage with an all in. And in truth, the beauty of Brood War is that you can go for an all in build and have the level that you hurt your own economy with the all in exactly equal out the level of economic damage that you deal to your opponent, and then the game just totally equalizes. Yeah. So
we've seen that in the STPL as well. Like, we've seen games where someone goes super all in, does a lot of damage, and then all of a sudden it's like you've gone back to minute 0, like no one has anything. Like we saw it between Cadenzi and Richley as well more recently in the semi-finals of round 2, where Red versus Soul, that may have been the 3rd place match actually.
Yeah.
Both of them did
where they
so
both
much
have
damage
like
to
5,
each other.
They have like 5 workers apiece, and they're like, well, I guess we just kind of start over. Okay.
It's really funny how that works out sometimes, but I mean, it's going to be 6 Mutalisks against a Stargate. So there is going to be the first Corsair popping out, but that's going to be finding a very powerful Nemesis as it makes it into the base here. It may even get there as the eggs hatch. And oh, staying for this Overlord is not something you want to be doing right now.
Oh, definitely not. The mutas pop out, and this is going to be you just a beeline straight to the Protoss base. The only unit that he has that hits air is a cannon and a Corsair. So this cannon's going to have to be working overtime, and certainly all these probes at the natural will die unless they're pulled.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to pull them to the main, but it looks like the Mutalists are going straight to the main as well. So kind of funny how this is happening. He's transferring the Mutalists into certain death. But this single Corsair going to be trying to hold on against so many Mutalists. And I mean, the second Corsair's come out as well, but these are well-spread mutas. And this is a lot of probe damage, but we can't ignore the Zealots coming across the map for Castle. There is, of course, a single Sunken. Not the best against Zealots, but will hopefully do enough. But it looks like Kingpin may have done what he needs to really bomb Castle here.
Yeah, the Kingpin of Crime stealing a win here. He's even got Scourged. Wow, they start hitting and the Scourge still explodes. Damn, this is pretty sick. The Scourge explode, however, on different Corsairs, so he does need to focus down the Corsairs. But now they will be very, very wounded and unable to reclaim the main here.
Yeah, now this natural nexus, or this main nexus even, is eventually gonna go down, but these mutants have done a lot of damage. He's relying on nothing but Dragoons.
He pulled the Zealots back, Kicks. I have no idea what the Zealots are doing there, but in the end, GG. Damn, two hats muted prevails. That is so fast.
I would like to just point out, I mean, that was obviously a really cool game. Castle going to be a little bit more wary of that kind of strategy in the future, possibly looking out for that more if he plays that map again. But Radley's comment in chat really made me just chuckle a little bit. Basically, he says it might be for Massling's Hive. That's a very popular strategy recently, and I mean, if Willian's game is anything to go by, that is the case. Now, of course, that game is going to give NetWars the 3-0 victory, but it's not yet over. There is one more game that has been played, so we'll show it off, and it's going to be a chance for bwL to gain a little bit of pride back into the series. But we're going to be back after.